Hey, what's up? How's everyone doing? Let's make a delay test. Okay, that's for later for YouTube. I still fighting the delay off. Last time I actually put some. I I took it and used shortcut, which by the way doesn't work anymore, and tried to fix my delay. I said if I take my delay, I realign it on a editor, and then stuff keeps going, and then it's aligned. I can say with certainty that hey, this is aligned. The dude is watching House. Damn. People just be doing shit and been working. And I said, hey, that should be fine, and it wasn't. So I hope that this time is fine. Because my delay right now is 521, which is weird, but yeah. Now, let's change my. So far so good with our friends, with my friends. I gave them the software. So let's remove Golang and let's remove, guess whatever is fine. So learning Rust for Advent. Okay, let's add the tag Rust. Well, Rust should be the programming language, not the whatever. Advent of code. There we go. Now I don't know if this stream name will be updated, but who gives a shit? I've done my minimum problems. So I was already going to the docs. Today will be probably a lot of reading. I'm gonna try to go fast. I'd like today to read most of what I care and then move on into trying some. Because I don't think I'm going into stuff like concurrency. I don't quite care. I'm not gonna use Rust for that. So yesterday on my own, nah, it wasn't actually the structs. I got up to, yeah, the slice type. Because ownership, I got scared of what everyone else talked about ownership, that it's that hard, that is very tedious. But I see it as automatic free and malloc, so feels slightly natural. I'm gonna say feels kind of okay. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's something different from everything I was doing now. It's just a different set of rules. It's just some calculated way of allocating memory. So it feels fine for me as a concept. I'm gonna try and see it as a user. So this is the chapter I did yesterday on my own. Last 2 days I was not. But I was out very late, and it kept being very late. And I said, is there any point if I'm gonna wake up and do everything wrong? Let's just cut my losses, do something right, and go back when I get to a decent time to bed. So, slices. Slices let you reference a contiguous sequence of elements in a collection rather than a whole collection. A slice is kind of a reference, so it does not have ownership. Okay, here's a small programming problem. At a fraction that takes a string of words separated by spaces and returns the first word it finds in that string. If the function doesn't find a space in the string, the whole string must be one word. So the entire string should be returned. Let's look at how we write the signature of this function without slices to understand the problem that slices solve. So function first word string returns, we don't know. The first word function has a at string as a parameter. We don't want ownership, so this is fine. But what should we return? We don't really have a way about part of the string. However, we could return the index of the end of the word indicated by space. Let's try that as shown in the listing. So first word, the at means we can change it, but so this is a say reference. It's confusing because Rust basically every time passes by reference. You just decide whether or not that reference is kept by the function. Use side, let bytes as bytes. So the as bytes, I presume this would mean damn, the LSP of Rust is low. Okay. Returns a byte slice of the string's content. As byte self at U8. It is an array of numbers. Yeah, bytes. Sure. This thing. Good. So for item in items in bytes that iterator enumerate. Oh, that's cool. What's this? So I guess this gives me an iterator. Returns an iterator over the slice. Iterator yields all the items from start to end. That's a self that implements a generic. Iter underscore t. So I iterate only on the object, but what's the underscore? Enumerate. Enumerate returns a type enumerate itself, creates an iterator which gives the correct iteration count as well as the next value. The iterator returns yields pairs eval y e is the correct index of the iterator and val is the value returned. Okay. By the way, can I zoom a little bit more? Nope. God damn it. I need a bigger monitor. Okay, so this is an iteration. Item is the Unicode for space. What that? Yes, so this is the U8. The value of the space. Yeah, 0x20. It will return I, which was the index, and then cool. First of all, function returns the value of the string. Because we need to go through the string element by element and check when a value is a space, we convert our string to an array of bytes using as bytes. Next, we create the iterator. Yep. Discuss it more in chapter 13. For now, know that iter is a method that returns each element in a collection, and that enumerate wraps the result of iter. And returns each element as part of a tuple instead. Yeah, sounds about right. The first element of the tuple returned from the enumerate is the index, and the second one is a reference to the element. There's a bit more convenient than that calculate the index also. Because the enumerate method returns a tuple, we can use patterns to structure the tuple. We'll find discuss a pattern in chapter 6. Yeah. In the for loop, we specify a pattern at the I for the index in the tuple and add item for a single type or a single byte in the bottom. Because we get a reference to the element from the iter enumerate, we use add in the pattern. Yeah, because you wouldn't want to take ownership of that. I'm guessing it would error, right? If you try that shit. Or first, let's go first word. The fuck? Kind of, yeah. Ball, lol, lol. Oh, right. We want a type string. This would be string, yeah, new ball, lol. Can I also do it like that? This function takes 0 arguments. From? Okay, string rust. Yeah, string from, hello world. What's the big deal? Copy Rust and Rust. Ciao, ma. Okay, so this will get me my stuff. Good. Oh, I'd say that the interpreter probably doesn't want me to do this. It can. Consider the referencing to errors. Can compare U8 to U8. Yeah, because now I get the value. Yeah, good. Doesn't work. So and I have to find a way out the index of the end of the first word in the string. But there's a problem. We're returning a use size on its own. It's only a meaningful number in the context of that string. In other words, because it's a separate value from the string, there's no guarantee that it will be added in the future. Consider programming list for 8 uses the first word. This empty string makes it equal to, so words still have the value here, but there's no more string. Yay. I see. This program pipes without any errors and will also do so if you use word after calling asset.clear. Because word isn't connected to the states of s at all, words will still contain a value of 5. We could use the value of 5 in the variable s to try to start the first word out, but this will be a bug because the context have changed since we saved 5 in the word. Having to worry about index in the word getting out of sync with the data s is tedious and error prone, blah blah blah. You write the second word, its signature would have to look like this. Now we're tracking a starting and an ending index. We have more values that were calculated from that particular but untied to that state though. There are 3 unrelated variables floating around that we need to keep in sync. Luckily, so a string size is a reference part of the string and it looks like this. Looks fair to me. Rather than reference the entire string hello is a reference to a portion of the string. Specify the extra 0 through 5 bit. We create slices with a range with brackets by specifying start index and end index. Where start index is the first position in the slice and end index is more than the last position in the slice. In turn, the slice structure stores the starting position of the length of the slice, which corresponds to each index minus starting index. So in the case of let word will be the slice containing a pointer to the byte of index 6 with a length value of 5. Yeah, looks good. Plus range index, if you want to start at index 0, you can drop the value and it's appeared. In other words, these are equal. Yeah. Same for the length. Yeah. You can also drop both values to make that an entire string, so these are equal. Okay. String race must occur at valid UTF-8 character boundaries. If you attempt to create a string slice in the middle of a multi-byte character, your kernel is an error. For the purposes of introducing slices, we're assuming ASCII only in this section. A more thorough discussion of UTF handling will be in chapter 8. Let's write the first word to return a slice, the type that signifies slice strings as written. So yeah, we'll return But why the add? Wouldn't I return just get out the ownership? Why do I return without ownerships? You get the index for the end of the word, the same, right? So this is fine. But what about the size for the value of the struct cannot be known at compile time. The trait size is not implemented for struct. Oh, so okay, fair. It will tell me when he wants it. But again, I would suspect that I can just return the slices as the ownership. Because if I return it that way, well, it doesn't get cleared here, but Now that I think about it, I don't know what happens precisely when you return, because if you return something from the function, you give the ownership, but if you return it as an add, the add should be should be not giving away the ownership, right? But I guess I have it because I'm using here. Right, so this is the I have ownership here. See? Yeah, I have it. And I don't have it here. Still do. String slices. Well, this is confusing. Alright, because I don't give away the ownership. Does that mean that the string slice is there forever? Makes me wonder, what if I say this is a B, right? So I print S, then B, then again S. Okay, never mind. It does not get consumed. I thought it does. It's about a function. Give it. Took your ownership. Borrowed or move value as. Value borrowed after the move. Okay. But I could have sworn that in the chapter of borrowship, I saw something about if you print it, it has been taken. Also only on the mutables. Okay. Hey, if it's easier to me, it's all the same. Well, good. It is better than I thought. Less annoying. Okay, so this is fine. We get the index at the end of the word, the same way we did in 4.7, by looking for the first occurrence of the space. When you find the space, you return the string using the start of the string and the index of the space at static and indices. Now, when we call first word, we get back a single value that is tied up to the underlying data. The value is made up of a reference to the starting point of the slices and the number of elements in the slice. This will also work for the second word. We now have a straightforward API that's much harder to mess up because the compiler will ensure that the reference in the string remain valid. Remember, the bug in the program 4.8 when we got the code was logically incorrect, but didn't show any immediate errors. The problems will show up later if we kept trying to use the first word index with an empty string. So dissect make this bug impossible and let us know we have an error. Good to know. boring rules. We cannot also take a mutable reference. Recall from the boring rules that if we have an immutable reference to something, we cannot also take a mutable reference because clear needs to truncate the string. Let's give it a mutable reference. The print I learned after the core clear use the references. Yeah, well, this is boring. This is slices. I mean, yeah, we have the Rust flavor here, but it's slices. String letters as slices. Recall that we talk about the string letters being stored inside the binary. Now we know about the slices proper use of the literals. Output good. String slices as parameters. Knowing that you can take slice of letters and string values lead us to one more improvement on the first word, and that's its signatures. First word string As more experienced recitation will write the signature shown instead because it allows us to use the same function of string and values and star values. If you have a string slice, you can pass it. If you have a string, we can pass a slice of the string as a reference. Oh, okay. So that's why we have a way to slice it up the full. Because there are different types. It's not a string. The one that we get is still a slice. Okay. I guess it's... I wouldn't say smart. It's fine. It's something. It's okay. String slices, as you might imagine, are specific to strings, but there's more general slice types, so consider this array. Okay, so say speak with arrays. Yeah, that's good. No, wait. Using struct to structure related data. A struct or structure is a custom data type that lets you package together and name multiple related values. Good. So I'm gonna blitz through structs, but I'm interested in enums. So structs are similar to tuples discussed in the tuple type section, in that both multiple related variables like tuples, tuples, also it's a tuple. The pieces of a struct can be different types. Unlike with tuples, in a structure you'll name each piece of data, so it's clear each piece of data, so it's clear what the values mean. And this name means that the structs are more flexible than tuples. You don't have to rely on the order of data to specify or access the value of the instance. Let's talk about the word struct and the name of the struct. Struct name should describe the significance of the piece of data being together. Then inside curly brackets, we find the name and the types of the pieces of data, which we will call fields. For example, yeah, nothing shocking. Let user whatever. C like stuff. String from, sure. Mutated, yeah. Return as user. Because the parent names and the struct are exactly the same, we can use the field init shorthand. Cool. Just like in Ruby. But I remember it was wild. Ruby shorthand, like something like that. It was such a wild syntax. Yeah, so you would define the name, and if it's the same in the hash, you just a dot because it will take automatically the a. I remember seeing this and be like, oh, the Ruby code is already readable. Imagine shorthanding it even more. Like that's what we need. Less code, more context. Using the field initial because the parameter name struct field are exactly the same. Okay, shorthand. Creating instances from other instances with struct updated. Okay, so I access it with a dot. Cool. Using struct update syntax, we can achieve the same effect with less code. So the email is the same, and then we dot user.one. Good, that's like the unwrapping in Golang. The 3 dots that will unwrap your arrays. That's good. Nice to have. But has the same value of user active from user one. Using tuple structs without named fields to create different types. Rust also supports structs that look similar to tuples called tuple structs. Now this is different. This is interesting. Tuple structs have the added meaning that the struct the name provides but don't have names associated with these fields. Rather, just have the types of the field. Tuple structs are useful when you want to give the whole tuple a name and make the tuple a different type from the other tuple. So when naming each field as in a regular struct would be verbose or redundant. To define a tuple struct, what we start with the struct keywords and the struct name followed by the types in the struct. For example, here we define a tuple color point. Yeah, I was thinking about it being really cool with couples and triplets of data that you know there's a triple about. Like a color should have 3 points, or a point be x, y, z. So you have these couple of triples of data that you don't really care of them having a name because it's very implicit. Like, you know, if this is being, if you want to couple x and y, you know that we're talking about, like, we call struct Cartesian, something like that, right? Yeah. So this is let chord, Cartesian chord needs to be like 1, 1. God damn it. It doesn't implement the trait display. Add a trait to abstract Rust. Can I do that? Can I just add the display? Implement add for points. So implement display for Cartesian chord. So it's going to be fn display which I guess it will return like a string, right? It's not a member of trait display. Implement add for point. Type output point. Self. Oh, it's to string. Alright, so that's good. Has a self declaration trait, but not implement. Okay. So it wants a self. Mutable formatter. That's stuff. Not. With this bizarre syntax. So you should be. Yeah, I'm biting way too much. Feels like I'm biting too much. But somehow this works. Basically, I can implement the interface and make it printable, which is good. Good to know. I'm gonna fight it at its own time. But interesting. I'm gonna be right back. All right, so this is cool. Can't print it. I need to do some more work on it, but it's good. The black and origin values are different types because they're instances of different tuple structs. Yeah, so I'm naming this school. So. So I can access individual value. Interesting. Oh. Ah, right. It's a tuple. Sure. Unit-like structure without any fields. You guys define stack that don't have any fields. These are called unit-like. They have similar to parentheses. The unit type mentioned the tuple section. Unit-like structs can be useful when you need to implement a trait on something type but don't have any data that you would want to store in the type itself. We'll discuss this in traits in 10. To define always equal, use the struct. We use the struct keyword, the name we want, and then the semicolon. No need for curly braces or parentheses. Then we can get an instance of always equal the subject variable in a similar way, using the name we define without any curly brackets or parentheses. Imagine that later we'll implement behavior for this type, such that every instance of always equals is always equals to every instance of any other type. Perhaps have a known result for testing purposes. We don't need any data to implement the behavior. You see chapter 10, how to define traits and implement them on any type, including unit-like structs. Okay, so this feels to me like decoration in Python. So, I mean, it's okay. It's cool to know that I can do it, but most of this stuff I'm not going to use it. Ownership of structs data. In the user struct definition in 5.1, we used to know the string type rather than the string slice. It's a deliberate choice because we want each instance of the struct to own all of its data, and for that we want to be valid for as long as the entire struct is valid. It's also possible for structs to store reference to data ownership by something else, but to do so required to use lifetimes. As which we discuss in 10. Ensure that the data referenced by struct is valid for as long as struct is. Let's say you want to restore a reference in a struct without specifying lifetime. Like the following, this won't work. Missing lifetime specifiers. Being curious. Then program using structs. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a tuple. Yeah. Oh, this I want to see. So, adding useful functionality with the right traits, which every language has its own terms, but these are methods. In Golang, I believe they're called methods, but here are traits, which are functions. I mean, I'm be having not syntax fatigue, but what would you say, semantics fatigue? Yeah, semantics should be the correct word here. Yeah. So semantics fatigue because every single language would have all of these stupid terms that I understand once I find the definition, but it always will be weird. Like, I remember my senior telling me, hey, I used a little bit of introspection here. Or was reflection. Pick one. I don't remember. The one that you can look at the program itself, which would be introspection. I was like, oh, cool stuff, cool shit, which is simply, hey, take a look at, you can in your own method see what instance this variable is. I mean, that's a big name for basically checking out what basically printing out what your type is. And there was the same thing with dependency injection, brother. That's just a parameter. It's a fancy way to call it a parameter. It's feeling annoying because every time I hear my seniors speak about all of this cool stuff, which is end up being very disappointing. It'd be useful to be able to start to print instance of a rectangle while we're debugging our program and set the value of the fields. Try so image 5 listing 511 tries to use the println macro using previous chapter, but this won't work. Oh, the macro stuff. I want to know what's the macro shit. Oh, this is the doc API. Good. Keep this on. Yeah. So yeah, this one print we see before. We compile this code. We get an error. This code says it doesn't implement display. The print macro can do any kind of formatting, and by default, the curly brackets tell printer and to use formatting known as display. Output intended for directed end user consumption. The primitive type we've seen so far display will be by default because there's only one way to draw to show a 1 or any other primitive type of a user. But with structs, the println should format the output less clear because there are more display possibilities. Do you want commas or not? Do you want print curly braces? Should all the field be shown? Do this ambiguity? Rust doesn't try to guess what we want. The structure doesn't have a provided implementation of display to use println and placeholder. Now, I might be biased, but I think you can have a unified way to display some stuff, and then you can override it. Like you can add display default representation of a tuple, and then someone can override it. So I don't think there's much being guessed in stuff, right? Like in well, actually, let's not make a file. I don't want to. Go sandbox. It would be like let. Let's keep this. So let. No, there's no let. That's embarrassing. Oh, that's how you do it. Yeah, so now it is cursed that there's no comma in the middle, but it's still a fine way to represent an array. So I don't know if Go has the struct way, but there's some. I think there could be some good defaults. Anyway, if you continue reading the error, you find the helpful note. Here, the trait standard is not implemented for rectangle. Note, in the format string, you might be able to use tata or tatata for pretty print instead. Let's try it. The println macro will now look at println React is rectangle 1, putting the specifier inside the curly brackets tells println we want to use the output format we call debug. The debug trait enables us to print our struct in a way that is useful for developers so we can see the value while we're debugging our code. Compile the code with the change. Drat, we still get an error. Drat? What? God damn it. Accidenti. It's a damn it. But again, the compiler gives us the compiler gives us a helpful note. Yeah. Rust does include functions to print out debug information, but we have to explicitly opt in to make that functionality available for our stack. So that we add those attributes derive debug just before the stack as shown in this tip. Now we run the program, we won't get any errors, and we see the following output. Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Nice. It's not the prettiest output, but it showed the values of the fields for the instance, which would definitely help during debugging. When we have the largest struct, users have an output that's a bit easier to read. In those cases, we can use instead. So it get prettier. Also, you put some new lines. Good to know. Fair for me. Looks fair to me. How would print value? The bug format is to use debug macro, which takes the ownership of an expression, prints the file and line number of where the debug macro occurs in your code, along with the result value of that expression, return the ownership. We can also put debug around the 30 times scale, and because the bug returns ownership of the expression value, the width field the same value as we didn't have the debug code there. We don't want debug to take ownership of rectangle 1, so use a reference to rectangle 1 in the next call. Here's what the output function is. Oh yeah, oh nice. I mean, but I would want debug to be an external thing because I don't know where I put my stuff when I try to debug. I should try to do some different outputs so I can find it very fast. I'm getting so fried up right now. We can see the first bit of output from source code main. Line 10 we're debugging the expression 30 dot scales. Yeah, well, this was nice. Method syntax. Yeah. How goddamn long is this book? Yeah. No. I'm definitely not doing everything. Methods are similar to functions. We declare them with the fn keyword and the name. They can have parameters and a return value, and they contain some code that's run when the method is called. From some lesson, like functions, methods are defined within the context of a struct. Yep, and the first paradigm is always self, which represents the instance of the struct the method is being called on. Basically, like Advent of code has started. No, I'm getting a head start because I heard that Rust is very, very hard. So I'm going to read the docs beforehand, maybe do a little bit of programming and setting up my folders. Because it's 2 weeks away, but I don't know, to me time is flying away very fast. So 2 weeks feels a long time, usually, but it feels very short to me. I get like 2 hours a day of streaming, so I'm gonna try and get at least comfy with what I see, what I read. It's not that hard, only if you try to fight the compiler following its advice. Fair. Yeah, I don't feel it's not feeling hard for me right now. I believe most people that find hard it's because they never gone to C. But if you use some C like in university or some setting, it feels kind of natural. But again, just to be sure, at least I try to avoid the default pitfalls. So I'm gonna try to do that. It's easier than C. Well, depends what you mean by easier. If it's easier to do stuff correctly, probably, but it's more verbose. It has a lot of stuff. So it depends what you mean simple, in which context you're using it. C is fun. I don't know. C feels like the good old days. I remember university and we used C++, but basically we used the subset of C. And it was fun in retrospect. It was terrible in the time. I would love to write something in a lower level language. Hey, maybe I love Rust. Was doing Golang for the last, I don't know, last year. Easiest to program in general, less chance to have weird bugs and unexplained behavior. Yeah, that's definitely nice. I think that's something that Go sometimes misses. And generally, I see this feeling from the Rust community that they like to have a lot of you don't have a lot of unexpected behaviors, which I think it's cool in the language. I don't know if you follow the Primogen, but he tends to say that hey, the Rust tends to be tedious. So I would want to give it a try. I want to see all the advent of code in Rust and maybe a small project before the getting into the advent of code and get a feel for it. You never know when you wanna use it. Maybe at some point maybe you want to write something for the Linux. I was going to do the same. Have you done rustlings? Oh no, what are rustlings? Ooh, that's like the cone stuff. That's so cool. Should probably have like a dashboard somewhere. No producer. Streaming manager. Yeah, okay, so it's always here. That's cool. I should definitely do this. Okay, so you need the GCC, cargo install rustlings. Rustlings init. Okay, so I'm guessing this is like the cone stuff. Let's take a look. Let's go cargo. Was new Rust links. Good. God damn it. And install Rust links. Cargo install Rustling, yep. Holy crap. 87. Cheats. A lot of stuff. Rustling is init. And this should display like the Be part of cargo project, please. Diffing directory. So that's why. But what if I let's empty this directory? Yep. And go again. Okay. Get me the init. Well, let's move this out. My God. Last one into Rust links. Okay, made it. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, so we init into the Rust links. Our general recommendation is VS Code. Yeah, man. But by the way, how the fuck did this get in? Like, how did I even put the folder? Why was the folder name different? It took the folder name from before. NeoVim works. Yeah. I mean, it's the same plugin at the end of the same LSP. But anywhere that supports the Rust analyzer. Yeah. You didn't need to create a folder. Oh. So did the crates get installed on my system? Not in the folder. It's not like the node situation. It creates it. Oh, yeah. My bad. I got the Ruby node dynamic stuff brain. I think even Go installs them inside your folder. Not sure. Perhaps. I don't know. I usually don't think about this stuff until I get bite in the ass, and then I suddenly have to think about it. Just remove the folder and run in the in the gear. And then run the last links. Okay, let's do that. Today I'm feeling extra lazy, but let's just get it right. Rust links remove. And was cargo run Rust link cargo install. No, install it then. It's Rust links init. There we go. So there's going to be a way to run the exercise. Doing the exercise. The exercises are sorted by topic. Sure, for every topic. There's a readme, search for to do to find out in hints H. Then run rustlings. To run rustlings? Yeah, doesn't sound fine. Cargo run. It's installed a binary. Oh. This is the solutions. This is the exercises. Oh, there's some readme. Rustlings. Oh, thank you. Is this your first time? Don't worry, Rustlings is made for beginners. Good. We're going to teach you a lot of things about Rust, but before we can get started, here are some notes about Rust operates. So the concept of Rustings is that you solve exercises. The exercises are usually complaint and some compiler logic errors which cause the exercise to fail. Make sure to have your editor open in the Rusting directory. Yeah, if you're stuck on exercise, enter H. Good. If it doesn't make sense to you, feel free to open niche. Yeah, so this is the Ruby cons. Good. Exercise done. Solution for comparison intro. Next move. So next hint. Oh, this is beautiful, by the way. Way better than the cons. So the next. Cannot find macro print a line in this scope. Oh. So I can keep this open. Take a look. Where is it? Intro 2. I should I should not flash. God damn it. I shouldn't flash the rest of the solution. Also, I probably should disable the LSP because this is this is cheating. Okay, so now I wrote it and it listens to the folder. This is amazing. I'm gonna go and give a start to these guys. Yep, 54k. Jesus Christ, this is amazing. Yeah, this is way nicer. I tried the Ruby ones when I started working, and those are fine. You have to every time rewrite it, and there's a small drawing. And I tried the Kotlin ones, which are fine because they're online. But it's cool. The Rust ones so far are way better. Well, it's a system language, so I'm happy that people use the concept, what's like file listening or something like that. I thought about it, I used it on Windows to convert stuff. May I ask where you're from? Your accent sounds somewhat Slavic. Now, this is hilarious because you hear my Slavic side, but actually I am from Moldavia and I live in Italy. So if it's weird, right now I don't have too much Slavic accent. Well, it comes more in English, I guess, but it should be a mix of Italian and Slavic, specifically from Emilia-Romagna, which is like in the higher part of Italy. I think you know where Rome is, so it would be like 400 kilometers from north. That's why I said somewhat. Yeah, yeah. That's the weird part. It's a little bit of my Slav is not. It's very neutral as an accent. So you'd have a little bit of the Slav part, and because there's different sounds in Italy, it's always hilarious when people ask me about Moldavian or even Russian, but they usually ask me about Romanian, which is the same as Moldavian, and they will always be like, "Hey, you have no vowels in this language," which is not true. It's that our vowels tend to have, I would say, I don't know if it's a word in English, but guttural feeling to them. There's going to be a, but there are different types of a in Moldavian. Is another sound that we have that sounds more like a consonant, but it's a vowel. Guttural. Yeah, I don't know if that's an English word. Because English is still, I'm fine with understanding it, but I don't know a lot. Yeah, so guttural is a word, I guess. Should be of a speech sound, crossing the throat. Yeah, so this is a harsher sound. Because the you see, if you try to do it, it's going to be from your throat rather than your mouth. As I understand from the A, which usually comes from your mouth. It's a very different way to make the sound. That's why Italians cringe a lot at how, because it's softer as a language rather than any Slavic one. So the tone of how you say affects what is kind of some Asian language. No, it won't change the meaning of the word, but it will sound weirder. So I think it's more like closer to English in that sense, because in English there's going to be a correct way to pronounce it. But if you say if you say amnesia, people will understand. If you say amnesia, people still understand. But usually you would want to. There's a preferred way to say. Like I struggle in English to say 3 as in the number, because there's going to be 3, the 3. There's going to be free, that's something that you don't pay for, and there's the 3 that has this teeth sounding way to say it. Yeah, it's gonna be that way. In Italian, it's not. You don't have that much. Say, it isn't that hard to pronounce words. That's the cool thing about Italian. It's hard to write words, That's kinda bitch. Not like in English sense, but the double T's, double consonants. I don't have them in Moldavian, so I struggled a lot at the beginning. Everyone was keep telling me, "Hey, you don't hear there's a double T here." I was like, "Bro, I don't hear it. I don't have it. We don't have double consonants in Moldavian, so I don't know what you're talking about." And also, I'm bad at everything that's like grammar related. English, Romanian, say Romanian, Italian. English comes better because it's more mathematical as a language. You should do rustlings till you can't, then read the essential books. Much faster learning. Think so. I don't know. I felt I liked in Go. I wrote the whole stuff and then got to the exercises. I mean, I would like to read like the cool sections first and then get a look. But since you're here, we can have a little bit of fun. So why not? But I'm going to invert this because I usually like my I like my terminal on the second of Tmax rather than the first. So Rusting should be able to run. We're at exercise intro 2. Intro, so X intro 2. Yeah, so this one, exercise done. Go for the next. You may be able to just click that exercise path. Oh. Yeah, I don't quite know because that's I have the what you said Zeta HS and Tmax that change a little bit how the terminal works. Works in Kitty. Yeah, I don't use Kitty. I see a lot of Kitty around, but I don't. I don't. I don't try. I didn't try it. Kitty good. Might give it a try. I'm not. I didn't use it because it's fine. What? I mean, the default one works okay. Doesn't bother. Doesn't have anything that bothers me so far. I don't know. Did you use it for ligatures or in general? There's something else that you say, hey, I can't live without this. Like with Tmax, I can't live without the multiplexing. If you have some reason that's absolutely paramount that you switch to, I'm gonna take a look at it. Why not? Anyway, here cannot find X in scope. I love ligatures and imagine images previous. Yeah, the images in Neovim, that sucks. There was a guy who had a package that had it, but the dude got so railed by the community that he just dropped that package, and it worked in every terminal. It was actually a kind of cool package. Well, would be package would be a plugin, but yeah, I should be considering images because the project that I'm using right now has a lot of images, and I always have to XDG open it. That's annoying. So if Kitty has image support, that's good. I might just go Kitty all the way. Kitty iCut. That's nice. Yeah, terminal, bro. So that's how you see it. Well, that's great. I'm gonna take a look. This last week of December, my company is closed, so I have a lot of time. I should be able to do like an 8-hour stream of fixing all of my stuff. Because even i3 right now, it's kind of ugly. I had the Spartan. Well, thank you for the follow. The Linux developer, nice. Hyperland on Wayland is nice. Yeah, I'm running GNOME for now, but I think about switching because i3 breaks everything. You would not believe the bullshit I had to do to just make a screenshot. Because the default screenshot won't the GNOME screenshot won't put it in my clipboard, and I was getting so pissed. And so I took out Flame screenshot, which is okay, but it's confusing. Like, what is this shit? Why do I need all of that to take a screenshot? I just want to pick the picture and put the meme to my friend. Like the Discord stuff, you know? So I cannot find value in the scope. Yeah, all of this stuff, tell you what. I have been trying to be a more organized person in my life right now. So I have a lot of shitty unused boards. I have the project board, which is the only useful one. And a lot of shit is aborted. Way too much shit is aborted. Right now, this is all the open stuff. I just see key bindings for this command grim manage setup. Oh, that's the way in Hyperland. Because in i3 would be... Well, it won't see my config. God damn it. So in i3, it would be something like that. You say bind the command exec, whatever it is. On Windows Manager may work. So Grim is a way to take screenshots. Oh, that's kind of nice. Was hoping it be... I would love a tile manager that has just Lua, so you have everything that's Lua, you know. NeoVim, i3. Just port everything to Lua. We know how it looks. It's wacky, it's fun, it's fast. Why not? If game developer spams it. So let's say like this. Let's open a board. Gonna say setup. And in the setup, doing done usual stuff. So it will be try Hyperland, try Kitty, and that's about it. But Tmax is great. Tmax works nice. I don't know if we have some alternatives, but in my dot files, of course, we don't see shit. Yeah, so it's only i3 and ZH and NeoVim. That's for so far everything that I need. Haven't think about any other utilities. And so far so good. I just want it to be a little bit prettier, maybe a little bit easier to configure. E3 is, again, it breaks everything. I can't print stuff. I can't use anything. My background is black. And at a time, I took a look at my config while doing my last job, and I was able to do something, but it doesn't work then always. What's the problem? I'm pretty fleshed out. Yeah, I hope so. If he gets me everything to work without me always banging head against a wall, that's great. Would you like my dots? Yeah, pretty. I'm gonna start them. Bring it up. Then take a look. Like NeoVim started thanks to Primagen's dot file, so I'm definitely take a look. Somewhat between the last week of December. They're on my personal Git repo. I suppose you call yourself the Linux developer. Nah. Please don't say your name is as course. This is somewhat coarse. Is it in your description? Don't know if you stream or just watch. Nope. You got to link me. You have to link me because also you stream sometimes. Let's follow back. Yep. Just give it to me. But when you get you give me reply, I'm gonna start it. In the meantime, so variables 1, x bar 1. Add the missing keyword, which would be let. Good. So next. Variables 2. Change the line below to fix the compiler error, which would be the errors are very descriptive, so that's the amazing part. At least in the simple paths, they're amazing. Looks it's very readable. It's not I have to stitch between the 5,000 lines of I don't know what god in name all the stack trace. And I know that some people just love the stack traces. I hate it. I don't like reading that much for very little. That's a lot of effort for very little results. That X type must be known at this point. So this would be like, it was like a use size, any kind of int. Used here, but isn't initialized. Okay, so I can't just tell him, hey, it's a use size. Oh, so Rust does not have, I would say U8 or something. Oh, so Rust does not initialize it at 0 by default. That's interesting. Let's try U8. But I believe that's because there's no default. Yeah, there's no default initializing. In Go, this would be a 0, so this should work now. Yeah. Alright, so values are nil as a default. Or something like that. I'm now curious about this. Let's say I have use sites. Let's print it. Well. Oh, it won't. So simply I cannot touch it. He just wants you to be explicit with what you want to do. I can respect that. I'm used to stuff being some default value, but I can respect that. X isn't initialized. Yeah, so instead in the macro println nightly run the macro consider this value. Yeah, so consider giving it a value. What's the folder here? Variables 3. I want something that NeoVim does not have, which goes straight up in my project, by the way. I don't know if there is. So if you know some project that has that available, it would be a move between folder files plugin NeoVim. Because it's always awkward to move to next file. And when you do stuff like this, you always want to move up one file. Or if you want to snip to files, you would want to move up one file. And I don't want to get a new window and be here and just go to the next one. I just want to go, hey, next one. I'm not aware if this doesn't exist. And if it doesn't, it's not a hard plugin. It's an easy plugin. Just gonna have to take the reference to every path in the file and maybe add them in the buffer. Telescope. But can you search, because let's say, okay, we're in exercises, lazy org. The telescope searches from the where you open it. This is a good Vim starter. I would want to search in a specific folder, like in the folder that I'm right now. I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but let's say now I am in. So I am in. Can't tell which folder, but I'm in one folder at the moment where my buffer is, and I want to go to the next buffer, the next file in the same folder. This would be nice when you want to snip within this kind of setup, and maybe you can configure telescope some way. Probably be H, find H. God damn it. Probably there's some way for telescope to ask which folder you go in. If there's a Vim spaces converts that folder in an explorer, kind of like, oh, now that's interesting. Perhaps I can take a look and steal something. I used the Kickstarter to get everything that I liked. Little by little, I'm gonna add one piece to the dot files. So let's take a look at what is it, the Git. My man Folke, start him. Dude's a beast. So how does he set up his stuff? Status, terminal types, like telescope. Is Kickstarter on steroids? Well, this is Kickstarter with opinions. And I'm 50-50 about having mine stuff and having everyone else stuff. Probably should try it, but I don't want to try too many tools. I just want to know how does he works his telescope. Lua gets so so wacky so fast. I never actually like learned Lua. I always be like, hey, this is a dynamic language. Should work how you expect it. It's so wacky when you see someone who knows Lua. Where is the telescope? Types, terminal status. There's not telescope folder. No. But there has to be like a telescope somewhere. Just has to be. Not sure if it's telescope that does the spec thing. Check the key bindings. Yeah, let's take a look at the documentation. Key maps. Let's view which key. Good. So LSP, buffer, conform, flash. Ooh. So he already. Wonder how much stuff he conforms. Because conform has been a pain in the ass. You have to always. I have to always set up and tell them what to conform. Like Rust is not set up, and I have to go in my config and tell me, hey, that's my Rust setup. Flash, Grag, Mason, Neo 3, Telescope. There we go. So find files which buffer, grep, command history, buffer, find config file, find files root tier, find files current working directory. This one, that's the cool stuff. Which means time to copy the homework and then I have to go to work, sadly. Git clone, which would be, so let's lady. What's this one? Find files current working directory. So it's a FF. What? That's confusing. Neo 3 is what Space E does. Oh yeah, I don't use Neo 3. I'm not super fun, but now that you say it, it solved my problem. I'm using oil lately, which is half of the solving problem. I think that it also would be get angry when they go. But I would love the find files in the current directory. This is nice. Find files. Dude, where is the telescope stuff? Man, how is this? How does this work? Jesus Christ. It had to be defined somewhere. Come on, man. Leader. What? Okay, my guy is way smarter than me. Like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do the good thing and always I don't have any of him stuff. So yeah, it won't see my stuff. Let's go into dot files, config, and neovim. And let's help into the God damn it. Stop. Go back. I was saying, let's find find files options CVD CWD root dir to the search for default command. Use the util buffer dir to search relative open path. That's the one. Meaning there should be, so in my telescope setup, well, in the one from Teach, there's the search files, right? So find files desk. I should be able to add here, instead of the desk, the option for them to be found in the current directory. So like find current, like this one, and I don't know. I'm gonna say how am I so stupid? I'm gonna say to find files. Is there an example of this? What if I just say cpd? But actually it's going to be like cpd. No. I don't know where to put it. I just don't know. This bad boy. Yeah, it's unknown. There's gonna be some way where I put this stuff and it just gets the arguments. But I'm sure where. Getting so sidetracked. I'll tell you what, Linux developer. We will fix this tomorrow. Same hour, always like 15 minutes late. Because I usually talk to my mom at breakfast. So thank you for the advices and the links. Gonna take a look at them. And I will see you whenever you want to pop in. Basically, I'm off to bed. Oh, so I'm guessing you're from North America or something? Well, good night to you then. It's a great day. I'm going to work. Yeah. So Have a nice one. You will find me here every day except for Saturday. Bye bye.